Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a Q&A about my pregnancy. I've gotten so many questions about why I've chosen a home birth, how my pregnancy is going for me. So I thought that I would just answer some of the questions in a video, and hopefully you guys can learn a little bit more about me and the choices that I've made and, you know, learn a little something. What is the sex of the baby? Wailea and I are having a girl, and follow-up question to that is, have you picked out a name? We have picked out a name. We went through several lists of different names. Some on that list were Ivory, Scarlet, I loved the name Quinn, Aria, but we finally narrowed it down to one. I think that I am going to keep it a secret. The middle name will be a Hawaiian name, Wailea's aunt's name and grandmother's name, and her last name will be Kerr, which is our last name. You'll have to stay tuned to figure out what that is. What is the hardest thing about being pregnant was a big question that I got. Another question I got was, how have you dealt with the weight gain? And I feel like those are actually going to be the same question, because I think that the weight gain was the hardest part for me. It has been a really big struggle. I gained 40 pounds in this pregnancy, honestly hoping that I don't gain any more weight. When you're in a pregnancy, your body is hijacked, and not in a negative sense. I know that I'm growing my child and it's wonderful, but taking all of your nutrients, it is fatiguing you and making you physically incapable of doing things that you were able to before. You can't take a full breath. You have to pee 20 plus times a day. All those things have attributed to a difficult pregnancy. However, my first trimester, the weight gain was the biggest problem for me. I had focused for the year prior on getting my body to look the way that it did, and I felt so out of control of my appetite and my hormones that the weight gain just started to happen. But once I got over that, I think the next hardest part was the fatigue. My mind works like 1,000 miles per minute, and when your body can't physically keep up with where your mind is at, it's really difficult. When you get to the point where you just can't do all the things that you want to do because your body just can't perform. You know, you don't have the energy for it. You are not the same. That was really hard for me. So again, I'm looking forward to giving birth, not only because I want to meet my daughter, but I would like, you know, my independence back. I would love to be able to take a full breath. I would love to not get up in the middle of the night to pee. I'll get up to the middle of the night to feed my baby, but I would love it if I didn't have to urinate 6 times in the middle of the night. And then in the third trimester, I would say the back pain has been really getting to me. I think you get more tolerant of your different symptoms throughout the pregnancy, and right now the physical pain. The baby's on my sacrum and I'm not really showing that much, so that I think has been the hardest part of the later points in pregnancy. But all in all, it really isn't that bad. I think because it was my first time being pregnant, I just did not know what to expect, and any little symptom that came up was just making me miserable. I could find every and any reason to complain about something. Ask my husband. I mean, I would do it again. I wouldn't do it 4 times, but I definitely plan on having another child, so I think the next time I can be more prepared. Next question is, what is your birth plan? I plan to have my baby at home during the first stage of labor, which is purely your contractions, to when you're dilating and when your cervix is opening. I would like just a certain type of ambient lighting, music. I want calmness. I do not want anybody here. I don't want anybody bothering me except for Wailea, who will be keeping me relaxed. I predominantly would like to be in labor on my bed, in the bathtub, or possibly in the living room. The rest of my birth plan is just to keep it as natural as possible. I'm not crazy. If there's an emergency, I'll go to the hospital. I'm trusting God. I'm trusting my body. I'm really confident that this baby is going to come out happy and healthy, and that I can do it all on my own. So, you know, the main birth plan is to stay at home, no interventions, no drugs. I don't want anything to relieve my pain. I just want people to listen to my wants and my needs. I have 2 midwives, and I have a doula, and they're all very well aware. I really want like a romantic kind of atmosphere, dim lighting, candles, twinkle light. I don't need much else, and I don't want to be offered anything else either. I really want to keep this as simple and natural as possible. Given that there is an emergency, I still would not like to have any kind of interventions. I don't want anything that's going to make me dilate. I don't want any medicine. If an emergency C-section has to happen, so be it. We will go from there. I'm just trusting the process, and I feel really, really good about it. So I'm pretty confident that everything's gonna go very well. One of the main questions I keep getting is, why did you choose to have a home birth? And this is something that I always wanted to do. I always knew that I wanted to have my baby at home. I was more of the, I just kind of want to have my baby on my own bed. I've never liked hospitals. I am also like a pretty strong-minded person, and I don't like the influence that I feel like some physicians and nurses feel like they have on you. I think that sometimes it's a tendency for doctors, well, I went to medical school, so here's my opinion, it's the right opinion, and tend to treat you more objectively. I would like to be treated as an individual. Everybody's circumstances are different, so I think that those things should be handled subjectively. I have a hard time trusting that in a setting that way, especially if I'm going to be a little bit loopy or not on my full game. I want to know that my opinion matters and that my wishes are going to be respected and not trumped by someone who thinks their medical opinion is better than, you know, my wishes. So I chose to go the home birth route. Secondly, I don't like the idea of giving birth with a doctor who is an obstetrician. An obstetrician is a surgeon, and I feel like surgeons can be a little bit trigger happy, especially when it comes to C-sections. There are all these different things that could happen as far as intervention goes. With pregnancy, you start with an epidural. When you get the epidural, then you're not dilating. Then someone gives you Pitocin, which is supposed to help you dilate. But then once you've been so heavily medicated, the baby's heartbeat's slowing down. And then they're like, oh, we gotta go do a C-section, sorry. You know, and I just feel like it's a domino effect. And to me, I wanted to have a little bit more control over the situation. Women have been having babies for thousands and thousands of years, you know, and only in the last 100 years have they been giving birth in a hospital. That's 1% of all births in the history of forever have been in the hospital. So in no way do I feel like giving birth in a hospital is the norm. I understand Western medicine, and just because the technology exists doesn't mean it needs to be used. So I wanted to just go with it as naturally as possible. I wanted to give my body the opportunity to really perform and to give myself the best chance of having this baby naturally. And I feel like being at home, people will respect my wishes. That I'm really comfortable here. It's scary, but I think a lot of fear around pregnancy comes from like a lack of education and really not understanding the process of pregnancy, process of labor, and it's intimidating. Once I understood the science and the biology of what was happening with my body, it really relieved some of the pressure and the stress, and I'm not scared. I'm really excited. If anything, I'm anxious at this point. I want to meet my baby, and I'm not, of course it'll hurt, but I'm not worried about the pain. I'm really excited about this wonderful experience. It's so amazing what a woman's body can do. You can grow a human. Your body was built to give birth. So I really want to trust in that and really experience that process of giving birth to another human being without Western medicine and without intervention. That was a little bit of a mouthful, but home birth is definitely what I want to do. I haven't heard any arguments that really could make me change my mind, and I'm really, really excited. What birthing method are you going with? So I know that there's like Lamaze and there's like hypnobirth and there's like tons of different types of things. But my husband and I chose to go with the Bradley method. And this is a husband coaching method where I think a lot of times it's pretty common that men really aren't part of the process, which is fine, but I have decided to really incorporate my husband to make him feel as part of the process as possible. And the Bradley method is like teamwork to do the birth. So the woman in labor is really focusing on staying relaxed, and the husband's job is to keep her relaxed, alleviating any kind of back pain through massage, reminders to breathe and to stay relaxed, a head-to-toe guided meditation that he does in his own words, which we've been practicing. In that method, it teaches you about the different stages of labor and how and where he can be used to help me the most, so that I can focus and that I am allowing my body to do what it needs to do in order to give birth. It talks about different emotional cues to tell you where you're at, explaining timing contractions. It really explains the process of labor and how you can best prepare your body with stretches, with different exercises, but it's as a team. So you are doing this together. You created this baby together. It's a common thing where men think, oh, well, you know, I've helped you make the baby and now I'm done. Wrong. I am involving Wailea as much as possible, and we are going to be doing this together, and we are like so excited. It's definitely been taking a lot of practice, but I think it's going to be so worth it, and I just think that it's going to be like a really memorable thing for us to do. When is your due date? I am due February 20th. That's in 3.5 weeks, so it is so close. I have this feeling that she'll be a little bit early. Another question was, how far along were you when you found out that you were pregnant? I was less than 1 month. I didn't even have a missed period yet. I one day was like, I am pregnant. And I took a pregnancy test, and lo and behold, I was correct. I got a question that says, were you guys trying to get pregnant? And actually, Leia and I only met about a year ago, and pretty early in our relationship, we had talked about wanting to get married and wanting to have kids, and we knew that we did want to have kids together and that we wanted to be together. Things did happen a little bit out of order. We did get pregnant, actually before we were married. I found out that I was pregnant on Father's Day, which was June 16th, and then we got married September 19th, so 3 months down the road. We like to call ourselves a modern couple. There's no right and wrong. You just take things as life comes, but we are so excited that we're having this baby. We are so excited to spend the rest of our lives together. Really wouldn't have done it any other way. What supplements do I take? I take a prenatal vitamin, fish oil, and a probiotic every day. I've maybe forgot 1 or 2 days. I have an alarm on my phone, so I'm pretty regular about that. Do you exercise? And the answer is yes. Pregnant women are really, really lazy, so it is hard to get motivated and to want to do that. I do have a couple different apps on my phone that follow an exercise plan. Actually, what is that app called? Prenatal Workout is one that I have, and I think in our first vlog, we have a workout session and I was following one of those guided exercises. My doula is certified in prenatal yoga, so her and I will do that together sometimes. And I like to walk, I like to ride my bike, and I love to swim. So I would say 3 to 4 days out of the week, I will try to get in some form of exercise. There are some days where I'm so lazy and I'm just like, whatever, and I'll just stretch. I sit on the floor, I stretch my pelvis, I stretch my legs, I stretch my back. So if I'm not really exercising and getting my heart rate up, I'm at least stretching, and that is just keeping me limber. I used to work out so much before I was pregnant, so I know I've lost some of my strength, but that's okay. I love a good weight loss challenge, and I'm really, really excited to do that after my pregnancy. So that being said, I have no regrets. I'm happy with the way everything has gone so far. I could definitely exercise more, but that's about it. Do you have trouble sleeping? Yes, I do have trouble sleeping. I think since a little girl, I've had insomnia, so it's always been a struggle for me to fall asleep, stay asleep. I'm a very light sleeper, but my doula gave me a really comfortable position where you put a pillow between your legs and then one kind of under your belly and your breast, and that is like a pretty good position. I tried a body pillow. It didn't really work for me. Getting up to pee is probably the most annoying part about getting a good night's sleep. I'm up and down so many times. It's such a strategy to puzzle piece yourself into the pillows that every time you get up to go to the bathroom or when I come back, I'm like trying to like get back into the position, and it can be difficult. Sometimes I accidentally wake up white Leia. During pregnancy, you get really hot, so sometimes I'm just like butt naked. I have to be on top of the covers. I need the windows open. Sometimes I need the AC, and I just can't stay cool. It's a struggle to stay comfortable. Again, it's a means to an end, and it's so worth it. So that is really what keeps me pushing through. I also am one of those weird people that kind of only need like 5-6 hours of sleep a night, and every 8 days I'll get like 10 hours. I've also learned to take a lot of naps, and that really helps me. You just really have to adjust and learn how to accommodate your different symptoms and really just make it work. And no one's the same. You know, as different as every human being is, every pregnancy is just as different. I don't think that even one woman has had the same pregnancy twice. You know, you get different cravings, you have different problems, you carry differently, you early, you're late. It's just nothing's the same. So you really can't compare it to anybody else's. Everyone's different. You can only just share the information that we have. If I'm sounding negative, I don't mean to. I just think that, you know, women are always like, oh, I loved being pregnant, God, it was such a special time, and just my skin was glowing, and no one tells you about the shitty parts. You know, like, let's get real. Being pregnant is hard. It's so cool what you're doing, your body's amazing, but it fucking sucks, okay? Let's like not lie. And I am happy to be the one that admits that. That being said, poor Leia, like, it's been really difficult for both of us. It's my first pregnancy, it's also his first pregnancy. Poor thing, dealing with a crazy hormonal woman whose body just keeps doing different things. Like, I don't know what's going on. He sure as hell doesn't know what's going on. It's really hard for us to, you know, gauge where my anger and like my crankiness, and I've always feel like I've been kind of like a tough like team player, so to really like throw in the towel and be like, I'm tired, I need to go home, and say no, or be like, I'm hungry, feed me, is really hard. You really have to assert yourself and get what you want, because people cannot read your mind. So it's really important to like listen to your body and speak your mind. Like, be nice, but it's hard, because I was always one of those kind of women who was like, no, I'm not hungry, no, I'm fine, I don't need anything. And I'm at a point too where some things I just can't do. You have to ask for help, and that is not something that I've been good at. So that has been a very difficult part for me as well. Did you have a baby shower? Yes, I did. And I don't know if any of you watched Julia's channel, but when she came to visit me over Christmas, my whole family was here. My mother-in-law threw me a beautiful tea party baby shower at her house, and it was so lovely. We had a high tea, we made onesies, I opened presents, and we actually sang a little bit of worship. It was really wonderful. It was a really special time for me. I actually don't think I've ever had a party thrown for me before, and it made me feel very special. I just was so happy. I cried at all the little outfits that I got, and I would be honored to be able to throw someone a baby shower. And it's a very like wonderful experience to just be surrounded by women, and just that beautiful loving energy towards your baby as well. It's so special, and it's very telling, you know, who is there for you, who cares for you, and how much love this baby is gonna get. It is just an awesome thing. So I did have baby shower, and I really enjoyed it. Malia, if you're watching this, thank you so much. It was like the most wonderful day, and I feel so honored that you did that for me, so thank you so much. Okay, another question I think I got more than once was, how did you know what to put on your registry? And I didn't know what to put on my registry. I have a girlfriend, her name is Janelle, that I met recently, and I was telling her kind of my struggles to what do I need, what is necessary, what isn't necessary, and she wrote me out this like amazing email of all these suggestions of things that I were probably gonna want, things that I'm definitely gonna need. I sorted through that and picked some things. I feel like a lot of baby supplies are superfluous. I was trying to be as minimal as possible. I think I put about 50 things on there, which seems like a lot, but like small things like washcloths and butt cream, and I even put diapers on there. And people were so sweet. I did receive some things, and then because of the gifts that I got at my baby shower, I had doubles and triples of some things, so I did end up returning some of the things on my registry. I also was gifted this beautiful car seat and stroller, and I ended up returning my stroller. I actually had purchased the stroller myself, but I ended up returning that because I received one from somebody. There's just a couple other things that were just too big, not the right size. I didn't like the material, and I ended up returning. I did my registry on Amazon, which is free returns. You know, if you have any questions about that, I'm happy to send you what I ordered, or even do a haul of the things that I did get. I'm gonna do a nursery tour, which we are in my nursery right now, but I will do a nursery tour and explain a lot of the things I did purchase and why I purchased them. So hopefully that will answer some of your questions as well. That kind of actually wraps up all the questions that you guys have had for me so far regarding my pregnancy. If you have any other questions for me, please let me know, and I'm happy to answer them. In this process, I've learned so many things just about a woman's body and about different things that pertain to being pregnant, being a new mom, which is gonna be, you know, such a journey, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. You know, you can anticipate and study and research as much as you want, but you can't predict what's gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen exactly as you want it to. So I'm aware of that. I'm planning for variables and outliers, and you know what, throw them my way, because we are ready. This baby is going to be so loved, and I am just beyond excited to be a mother and to bring this baby into this world and raise her to be an awesome and honest human being. It's such a gift, and I can only imagine how it's gonna feel once I hold her for the first time. So I'm really looking forward to it. If you guys have any stories that you want to share, birth stories, pregnancy stories with me, please feel free to do that. Leave them in the comments. I am going to be doing a lot more videos on pregnancy and be vlogging my home birth and labor. So stay tuned, because that I think will be very interesting. I think that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. I hope I didn't bore you too much, and please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.